Hello everyone. Today is Wednesday, the 19th of February 2020. In this video, we are going to go through Unit 5 Reading Text 2 and its exercise together. Before you continue, you should take out your Edge book JS2B or download the materials from my website. You can find it in the links below my YouTube video before you continue. Now, it's on page 6 of your Edge book. So page 6. Before reading the text together from the video, that's this one, as usual, I would like you to spend around 10 seconds to very quickly look at the title and everything in the text. Just have a quick preview. Think about what kind of text it is. Is it a letter or a poem or something else? Think about the text type and think about what the text is about. So very quickly, around 10 seconds. Alright, so you should have looked at the title of the text here, Chapter 5, Aliens Among Us. So for one of the questions I asked you to think about, which is what this text is about, is actually about aliens. That means people or creatures or beings that are not people. Okay, and not from the earth. Yeah, so it's about aliens. And for another question I asked you to think about, that's reading everything very quickly in the text and think about the text type. It's actually a story. You can get the hint from the title. That's chapter 5. So in a storybook, there are a lot of chapters, and this is one of the chapters. And another clue will be the very short paragraphs in the text. For example, this one. Okay, and then there are dialogues. You see the open inverted commas and the close inverted commas, and you see something like hissed Frankie. So it's actually Frankie said something, and then we put them in the dialogue. So it's one of the features in this text type, story. So let's start. We are going to look at paragraphs 1 and 2 together, and while you're watching the video, I would like you to think about some questions. One question. So as we said, this story is about aliens. Yeah. So who believed in this in the story? So should be one of the characters. So who? So please pay attention to this, and let's start.
Chapter 5. Aliens Among Us? Do you know, said the twins' father, rustling his newspaper. Last night was the third night in a row that mysterious flashing blue lights have appeared over Jardine's lookout. Caught up listening to music, Frankie and Lucy mumbled a reply. Their father was completely obsessed with aliens. Only last week, he had made them look at every little grain of rice in the rice bucket because he dreamt that tiny aliens had taken over the kitchen. Absolutely bananas, they had both agreed, although not as mad as Grandpa.
Alright, we stop here. Now, so I asked you to think about who believed in aliens. So you should see 3 characters in the text. So it should be Dad, not the twins. So it's the father, because we can see this from line 5. Their father was completely obsessed with aliens. So that means he liked aliens. So that's their dad, the twins' dad, believed in aliens. Now I would like you to spend around 5 minutes to work on questions 1 to 4 in the in your textbook, in your Edge book. That's on page 7. Items 1 up to A1 to A4. So you have a little bit more time because there are a lot of true, false, not given questions, and you need some time to read through the multiple choices for question 4. Let's take a look at the answers together. Question A1. What is the relationship between the three main characters in the story? So for this kind of question, we use a complete sentence to answer it. So, oops. Okay, maybe I should minimize it and right. Okay, so we can start with the subject, they, and then notice that in the question the tense is a present tense, although the story is the text is a story and it's written in the past simple. So in answering the question, we focus on we match the tense with the tense that is used in the question. So we use present simple. They are, and then who are they? So you can say that they are members of a family, or they are family members. Family members. Okay, you can't find this directly from the text, but the hint is here. The twins' father. So that means that they are father and children. So for twins, that means they were born at the same time. So twins, they usually look very much the same. So the line reference for question 1 is line 1 of the text. Yeah, I've already highlighted it for you. Next one. Decide whether the following statements are true, false, or not, or if the information is not given. So A, the beginning of the story takes place on a public holiday. So for this question, the answer is not given. Let me just do this here first. Change the color. Sorry, excuse me. Red and red. Okay, maybe I should set it as default so that we can be faster. Alright, so there's no direct hint in the text. So if you so the only hint on time is last night, but there was no mentioning of public holiday, so it's not given. B, strange blue lights were seen over Jardine's lookout. So for this one, the answer is true. Let me mark it first. True. So you can find this from lines 3 to 4 in the text. Here, lines 3 to 4. Sorry, lines 2 to 3. Mysterious flashing blue lights have appeared on Jardine's lookout. So, item 2B is true. C, Dad was not really interested in aliens. So, I think from the question I asked you to think about before looking at the text, you can answer that this is false. He was completely obsessed with aliens, right? So, not really interested is wrong. He's very interested. So the answer is here in line 5. The father was completely obsessed with aliens. Question 3. Which picture, let me just scroll down a little bit. Which picture best illustrates what happened 1 week before the events in text 2? That means 1 week before, the story. So, before the time in the story. Now, for the word illustrates, it means shows, yeah? Which picture best shows what happened 1 week before the story started? So, the answer is B. Sorry, it is a little bit out of space. So the answer is B. So you can find, maybe I should talk about why A isn't the answer. For this picture, you see that the kids, the twins, were sleeping, and then they dreamt that there were aliens in the kitchen. So this is wrong, because in line 5 he had made them look at every little grain of rice bucket, because Dad dreamed. Okay, so here, Dad dreamed. He had dreamed. So the he means Dad. That tiny aliens had taken over the kitchen. So it's Dad, not the twins. So A is wrong. B is the answer, because from line... Let me have a look at this. Okay, Dad made, in line 5, Dad made them look at every little grain of rice. That means look at the rice, okay, in the rice bucket. Okay, so the kids were doing this. Yeah, so B is the answer. Why C is wrong? So the kids were listening to the music in the kitchen, in the picture, and then Dad is looking at the rice. So C is wrong. It's the kids looking at the rice. The kids were listening to music, but it was not the time when they were in the kitchen. Yeah, so it was the time when Dad was telling them, oh, we should go to find aliens. Yeah, when the kids were listening to music. So C is wrong. Question 4. In line 7, the expression absolutely bananas means extremely beep. So the answer is A. Extremely crazy. So we can look at absolutely bananas in line 7 together. So that made them look at the rice in the kitchen because of his dream. So, and then the kids said, absolutely bananas. Yeah. So, and then they said, they both agreed. So they both thought that, the kids both thought that Dad was very crazy, but not as mad as Grandpa, but still very crazy. So it means extremely crazy. They were not hungry, okay, although they were in the kitchen. They did something in the kitchen. Tired is irrelevant, and then unhappy, so not really. So A is the best answer. So that's part 1 of the text. So let's move on to the next part of the text. We are going to read paragraphs 3 to 4 together, and in this part I would like you to think about... Now, Dad wanted to do something because of his dream. So what was it? Please pay attention to this when you look at the video. Continue.
Kids, do you hear me? Dad yelled. Startled, they pulled out their earphones and waited patiently for the crazy plan they knew their father was about to propose. We need to go there and investigate, he proclaimed enthusiastically. Come on, it'll be an adventure. There was no point arguing, so they nodded half-heartedly. Stretching and yawning, they got up from their chairs and went to prepare for another alien hunt.
That's it. So Dad wanted to do something, and what was it? So it was an alien hunt here. Another alien hunt. Yeah, because Dad wanted to go there. That means go to Jardine's Lookout, where there were blue lights flashing earlier, to investigate, yeah, to see why and see what happened. So let's take a look at the questions in your Edge book. I would like you to spend around 1 minute on question 5 only. Okay, answers. Which of the following is true about the twins? A. They always win in arguments with their father. Now, this one is not the answer. They didn't really want to argue. So you can find the answer from the hint is in line 12. Here, there was no point arguing, so they means the twins, so they nodded half-heartedly. Okay, actually they didn't want to go, but okay, that kind of nodded half-heartedly. So A is not the answer. They didn't want to argue. B, they are going on their first alien hunt trip, so it's not the answer again. The hint is in line 15. Right, line 15. Another alien hunt. So that means it's not the first time. They have probably gone many times, not the first time. C, they are not very interested in aliens, so that's the answer because they nodded half-heartedly. And another hint is other than the nodded half-heartedly we have just talked about, another hint is just next to it. Is stretching and yawning. They got up from the chair and went to prepare for that alien hunt. So stretching and yawning. So they were not really interested. They didn't have the energy. Okay, we can tell that they are not interested. So C is the best answer. D, they are too tired to go alien hunting. So they yawned and they stretched, but it doesn't mean that they were too tired. It means they are not interested. So you should choose C. And then continue. In the next part, we are going to read paragraphs 5 to 8. And then in this part, I would like you to find out where they were, where the characters were. So let's continue.
A few hours later, they were trudging their way up Jardine's lookout. Without a cloud in the sky, the hot sun beat down on them. "This is madness," hissed Frankie. Lucy smiled. "Look on the bright side," she joked. "You won't bump into any of your friends here because no other teenager in Hong Kong is up a mountain in broad daylight looking for aliens today." "No other teenager in the world, more like," he grumbled. Dad was already at the top.
Okay, sorry, I paused the video a little bit late. That's all. So my question was, where were they? The answer is... Oh, and sorry, my computer is a little bit laggy when playing the video. Sorry about that. Now, they were on Jardine's lookout, because you can find it from here, line 16. Jardine's lookout is a mountain. Yeah, you have to go up and then see the view from the top of the mountain. And then I think, yeah, the light appeared over Jardine's lookout, so they have to go to the top. So for the textbook questions, I would like you to spend around 3 minutes to work on questions 6 to 8. 3 minutes. Answers. The setting changes in the middle of the story. In which line does it change? So I asked you to pay attention to where they were. So they were not at home in this part of the story. They were on Jardine's lookout. So in line 16, yeah, here. A few hours later, so the setting changed. Time and place. So the answer for question 6 is line 16. Continue. Question 7. In paragraph 5, what does the information about the weather suggest? So A, alien hunting is a popular activity during hot weather. Now, they were going on an alien hunt, and we don't know whether it is popular or not, but the weather was hot. So this one is not really, how should I put it? Maybe I should put it like this. So from the text in paragraph 5, it only says that they were on the alien hunt and the weather was hot here in these lines. So it doesn't mean that it is a popular activity during hot weather. Maybe they go as well when it is cold. Yeah, so A is not a good answer. B, it is not suitable. It is not a suitable day for walking up a mountain. That's true because of the weather. It was hot. So let me just mark B as the answer. C, the twins are not wearing suitable clothes for the weather, so it's not mentioned, although it was hot. The text didn't really say what they wore on that day. And then D, the weather is likely to change later in the day. Again, there is no mentioning of this. It only says the weather was hot at that moment. Later, we don't know. Question 8. According to paragraph 7, Lucy thinks that Frankie A, does not like her making jokes about him. So this one is not given. So how does Lucy think about Frankie? So the question is a little bit tricky. We didn't know whether Frankie likes being joked at by Lucy or not. Don't really know. Although he grumbled something, like kind of complained. Yeah, but he was talking about whether they would see some friends. So it's not really about Lucy making jokes of Frankie in general, no. B, does not want his friends to know that he is on an alien hunt. So remember that he is Frankie. So this is the answer. B is the answer. Why? Let's read lines 19 to 21 again. So she joked, that was the part when in line 19, she joked, that was the part when Lucy joked about Frankie. She said, you won't bump into any of your friends. That means Frankie's friends. She was talking to Frankie. Here, because no other teenager in Hong Kong is up a mountain. Looking for aliens when the weather is so hot. So that means this is how Lucy thinks about Frankie. She thinks that Frankie doesn't want his friends to know that he's on an alien hunt, yeah, in this kind of hot weather. So B is the answer. C, Lucy thinks that Frankie is unhappy because he cannot meet his friends today. We don't know if Frankie had a plan to meet his friends on that day, so we can't choose this as an answer. D, Frankie is unhappy because he prefers hiking with his friends. Again, we don't know if he, that means Frankie, likes hiking with his friends. We can't choose this as an answer, so B is the best. Now in the next part, we're going to read paragraphs 9 to 10 together, and then in this part, I would like you to pay attention to this. Now, in this part of the story, they saw something strange on Jardine's lookout. So saw something strange. And what did they see? That's what you can pay attention to. Let's continue.
Dad was already at the top. He was looking at the ground, then looking around him and scratching his head. "My goodness," he said over and over again. They could see why he was confused. Scattered on the ground was several small, claw-like silver objects. Frankie stepped on one and thought he heard a squeal. He looked more closely. The object was moving, and then it stopped. "Dad," he said nervously, "what are these?"
Okay, so they saw something strange. What was it? So it was several small claw-like silver objects. So you can find this in line 26. So for the textbook questions, please do questions 9 and 10. You should finish this in around 2 minutes. Let's look at the questions together. How does Dad feel when he first sees the objects on the ground? What does he do to show this? So this is a longer question. There are 2 questions. Then you should answer at least 2 points. So firstly, how does Dad feel when he blah blah blah? So the verb is does and feel, and the subject is in the middle, Dad. So we can say he. Pay attention to the tense in the question. It is in present simple. Does feel. So does feel becomes feels. Although the story is written in the past simple, we should stick to the tense in the question. Okay, I have already mentioned this earlier and repeating this now. Okay, he feels, and then when he first sees the objects on the ground, so he actually feels confused. Confused. You can find this in line 24. They could see why he was confused. Yeah, so confused is a feeling. He feels confused. You don't have to repeat when he first sees the objects on the ground. This is an adverbial of the sentence. We have already got the subject, that, and then the verb, does feel already. So this is the extra part. When he first blah 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 is the extra part, and then we can delete it. We can easily end our answer with a full stop here without repeating. Next part, what does he do to show this? So what does he do to show that he was confused? So we tackle the subject and the verb first. So he does something, does do. So what does he do? So the verb will be part of the answer. So we don't know what verb to use yet. So the answer is here in line here in line 24. Then looking around him. So this one was talking is about dad. The subject is here, dad, looking around him and scratching his head. So dad scratches his head to show that he was confused. So you have to change the scratching, this ing form word, to the present simple to stick to the tense in the question. Scratches, scratches. Did I spell it wrong? Is it like this? No. TCH. Yes, he scratches his head. Full stop. You can't really use an ing form here. He scratching his head is wrong. The subject and the verb. The verb has to carry the tense. That is the present simple tense. Yeah, ing is not a tense. I told you many times already. So I think this exercise is really good in this. If you look at it like this, yeah, it trains you to change the verb form, what you can find in the text, and then it trains you to change the form of the verb or the information. This is a very important skill, and then I have just like what I have told you in class many times. Question 10. What two surprising things does the silver claw do when Frankie steps on it? So the silver claw is it, is the subject. The verb is does do. So in the middle, the silver claw is the subject. It means it. So it does do, so we don't know the verb. We have to find from the text. So you can find it from lines 26 to 28. Small claw-like silver objects. Frankie stepped on one and thought he heard a squeal. So the squeal comes from the claw. So it squeals. You have to change. Heard a squeal is a noun here, a squeal. Change this noun to a verb. So squeal can be used as a noun or a verb without changing its form. So, and then you add the s that comes from the question. The tense from the question is present simple. It squeals, and then this one thing, two surprising things. It squeals and one more thing. Continue. The object was moving. The object means the claw, yeah, the silver claw. So it squeals, and now here, the object was moving. It's in past continuous. You have to change the tense to present simple. So was moving becomes moves. It squeals and moves. Again, you don't have to repeat when Frankie steps on it because it's the extra part of the sentence. We have already got a subject and verb, and a verb group, two verbs as one. So no need to repeat the extra part, that is the adverbial. Moving on, We are going to read the last part of the text or watch the last part of the video together. That's paragraphs 11 to 13. Now, the claws actually looked like something they could see on the mountain called Jardine's Lookout. What was it? So what did the claws look like? So that's what I want you to pay attention to. Let's start.
However, Dad was staring into the distance. The twins turned to see what he was looking at. The 2 IFC building. The clusters of claws at their feet looked exactly like the top of the building. "Whoa!" Dad shouted excitedly. "This is incredible! We've finally done it!" The twins looked at each other worriedly. The silver claws were coming to life and were slowly moving about around them.
Alright, so the claws looked like something they could see. What was it? It was the 2 IFC building here in line 31. That's in central, or in the picture. You can see it from the picture, the 2 IFC building. And then I would like you to spend around... Now for this one, this part I think is a little bit more tricky. I would like to give you some more support. Or, let's put it like this, the questions are not well designed. So, extra support for you. What does that mean? We're going to do questions 11 and 12, yeah? So what does that mean when he says, "We finally done it," in line 32? So that is he. So does mean becomes means. He means that they have found, and then you fill in this, then it's more doable for you. Next one. How do you think Frankie and Lucy feel about the objects at the end of text 2 and why? So it will be a long answer. So, Frankie and Lucy feel. They feel. Like this. And then the why, you continue. Because the silver claws. And then you continue. And the clause may be blah blah blah. So then you can, I think you can, it makes things easier for you. So please spend around 2 minutes to complete questions A11 and A12. Answers. He means that they have finally found. This one is actually quite easy, but you can't find the hint from the text. No direct hint, but the overall idea. Yeah, so is the whole text. So you can't find the answer directly. Alien. Zzz. Okay, for your class. Next one. So that's why Dad was so excited. Yeah. Question 12. They feel the answer is worried. The hint is from here in line 34. Worriedly. Now, they looked at each other worriedly. The worriedly is talking about how they looked at each other, the way of looking. So we use an adverb, worriedly, to talk about an action, a verb, looked. So you have to change this adverb to an adjective here. They feel, and then you have to put in an ed adjective feeling word, worried. So you remove the ly, change the form, the parts of speech. So I think this really gives you good training in preparing for public exam kind of questions. Continue. They feel worried. Why? Because the silver claws, so you can find the hint from here, were coming to life and were slowly moving about around them. So the first thing is you should base your answer on both things, A and B. A is the moving, A is the coming to life, B is the slowly moving, blah blah blah. Both points, not only one of them. So in the exam, a lot of you only gave 1 point when there should be 2 points, and they are just next to each other. You have to read a little bit more and think about whether you want to include something as part of your answer. That's number 1. Include enough information, or think about what or how much to include. Number 2, you fit in the grammar. Okay, I told you already just earlier in the video that you have to stick to the tense in the question. So how do you think Frankie and Lucy feel? It is in present simple, so they feel. So the silver claws, now you have to use the present simple to answer, although the story is in past simple, or here is the past continuous because it's not always moving, the silver claws. Now anyway, it's in the past, so you have to change it to the present simple. We're not present simple, but present tense, present continuous. Okay, the continuous you can keep it. We're moving becomes are moving. The silver claws are, sorry, not are moving, are coming to life first. And were becomes are, and are slowly moving about around them. So this time you can copy, slowly moving about around them. And then the silver claws maybe, and the silver claws maybe you can add a so, and so, not really. Okay, anyway, and the claws may be what? So this one, again, you can't find the answer directly. The clause may be, you fill in an adjective, dangerous. Or you can, just like in the previous question, maybe alien. Zzz. Okay, the clause. Yeah. So, that's all about the last part, but we still have two more question items. We have already finished everything in the text, yeah? So, but we still have 2 parts. Now, let's do question A13 first. Find verbs of speaking, that means the reporting verbs like said, with the following meanings in paragraphs 2 to 8. A, had the same opinion. Now, I would like to do this as an example to you. One speaking verb, have this meaning, same opinion. So, from paragraphs 2 to 8. So you can start from here and then you scan for the meaning. Had the same opinion. Frankie and Lucy mumbled a reply. Is it mumbled? No. Mumbled is like that kind of reply. So it doesn't mean had the same opinion. So we continue. Absolutely bananas. They had both agreed. So they had both said, had the same opinion, right? They think that it was crazy. So agreed. So past tense, no need to change tense, just find the verbs. Now I would like you to do the rest in around 2 minutes. Okay, answers. Excuse me. Said something very loudly. So the answer is yelled in line 9. Dad yelled. Kids, did you hear me? Yelled, right? So, yelled. Next one. Announced. So if you don't know the meaning of this word, announced means, so at school in the morning, we have to queue up and then the people will say something on the stage when we queue up, right? There are a lot of announcements. The people on the stage are making announcements. So announced is the verb. Make announcements. Announcements is a noun. So announced, that means say something and then to give you information. And then usually you have to listen and follow. Announced. So verbs of speaking. Another word meaning announced, it's proclaimed in line 12. Here, he proclaimed in this way, we need to go there and blah blah blah. So dad said this and then the kids have to follow. So proclaimed. D, said something in a low, angry whisper. Whisper is speak in a very soft voice, okay, but it has to be angry, in an angry way, so not in a loud voice. So this one is a little bit difficult. The answer is not mumbled. Mumbled can be kind of like whispered in a very soft voice, not loud. It can also be a little bit angry, but there's a better answer if you continue. The answer is in line 18. Hissed Frankie. Here, when they were going up the mountain, so Frankie was doing something like, this is madness, okay, and didn't want Dad to hear. So said something in a low, angry whisper, so it's hissed. E, complained in an annoyed way. So if you don't know the meaning of the word complained, it means you are unhappy about something because it can be better. Annoyed, if you don't know the meaning, it means a little bit angry, or you feel that it is for example, if something is very noisy and you don't like it, you feel annoyed. Yeah, so complain in an annoyed way, in an angry way. So the answer is in line 22, grumbled. This one, no other teenagers in the world more like. So this time it's not in a soft voice, but grumbled, really, more angry. So, and then complained. So, grumbled. Next part. Part B. Complete the following summary using words from text 2. That means it can be anywhere in the whole text. Fill in each blank with one word only. So earlier, I didn't really say whether it is one word or blah blah blah. I only gave you a blank and then the answer was this long. I told you already that I don't like the idea of limiting how many words, but let's stick to the textbook. Okay, one word. The first letter of each word is given. Makes things so easy for you. Okay, fine, you're in Form 2. You should make sure your answers are grammatically correct, and this is the tricky part. Now, I will do 2 examples for you to show you how to do this kind of questions. Now, before I illustrate how to do this, I would like to talk about the strategy or the skill for this kind of questions. So, after you read the question, if you feel that you have an answer already for the gap, you can put it in, and then don't worry too much about it. Yeah. For example, like aliens here, I changed it as a gap for you. So if you have a feeling that aliens is the answer, you can just put it in because it's the overall idea of the text. Okay. If you think you have the word, you can put it in and make sure and then check grammar. If you don't know, then you go to the text and try to find. Go to the relevant parts of the text and try to find. You only go to the text when you are not sure, yeah, and always pay attention to the grammar. So, 2 examples for you. It will make things clearer. In Aliens Among Us, a man and his 2 children did some strange lights that were reported to have appeared above a mountain. So the hint is here, strange lights that were reported, about the strange lights. So remember, it can be anywhere in the text. So the strange lights here. So you can read this part very quickly again and try to find the answer. This time is a little bit far because we have to find a word that starts with an I. So it's anyway, it's the beginning of the story, not the last part. Yeah. So the answer is investigate. We have to go there and investigate. So go there. We need to A and B. After the 2 is a verb. Investigate is a verb. That means look at something closely or study something closely. Investigate. Yeah, investigate. So this time you have to change the tense, okay? That were reported, so it's in past tense. Investigate is from the text. Need to, after to, we use the base form. But here, you have to fit in the tense. Has to be past simple. So investigated. That's why it is tricky. A man and his 2 children investigated some strange lights, right? And then continue, above a mountain for 2 nights in a row. Now, if you still remember, should be 3 nights in a row. So then you can just write the answer without thinking too much or wasting time to find the words. Yeah? But if you forget or are not really very sure, then you can go back to that part and read. So the strange lights part here, the 3rd night in a row. So here it says the 3rd night in a row. That means continuously without any break. Day 1, day 2, day 3. Oh yes, so if it is day 1, day 2 and then suddenly stop, it's not 3 days in a row but only 2 days in a row. Yeah, so the 3rd night in a row becomes 3 nights in a row. Okay, so you have to make sure to check the grammar. So now I would like you to spend around 3 minutes to do the rest. Answers. The man is an enthusiastic sorry, no S, enthusiastic, okay. So the hint is here, proclaimed enthusiastically. So again, you change the adverb. This is talking about how he proclaimed, the verb, the action, proclaimed or announced something. So enthusiastic means have the energy. So if I teach like this, then I am not enthusiastic. But if I teach like this, then enthusiastic with the energy. The man is an enthusiastic alien hunter. Okay, you can also say things or announce things enthusiastically. Yeah. So adjective and adverb. Continue. At the top of the mountain, they found some of silver claws. So you go to the silver claws here. Line 31. So again, you have to read further if you can't find the answer. So this is also talking about the claws, right? The clusters starts with C. Clusters. So clusters means groups. Find some groups of silver claws, not one, but a few, which are the same shape as the dirt of a building. Easy. Top of a building, right? Here. Look exactly like the top. No need to change anything this time. Easy. Line 31, top of a building. Last one. The claws can make noise and move by themselves. So the clue is in line 34. Here. We're slowly moving. Here it is in past continuous. But the claws can make noises and the clause can A and B. So B has to follow A, the verb form. Yeah. The clause can A and B. After can, we use the base form. Do not add anything. So change the moving to nothing. Move, base form. That's all for this reading text. But before I officially end the video, I would like you to think about a question, and if you have time, you can send me some text reply, or tell me at school when we do speaking, when we have the speaking lesson. So, after reading the text, how would you feel if one of your friends is an alien enthusiast? Enthusiast is a person who is really enthusiastic about something. Enthusiast. So I'm not sure if you think that I am an English enthusiast or a teaching enthusiast. If yes, then thank you. Very nice. Now, if one of your friends is an alien enthusiast, that means like he or she likes aliens a lot, and asked you to go on an alien hunt with him or her, would you go with him or her, and why? So this is a kind of a quick sharing question for you. After reading the text, that's all from me for today. Thank you for watching.